We're back.
For part dos.
We're back.
Spanish.
He's back. He thought when he snapped his fingers, we were all going to disappear, but we didn't. We
We
came back.
We actually just lived it.
We were the survivors.
No,
okay.
ain't
Bonsai's
that
gone,
lucky.
though.
No.
Who's the cameraman, man?
That means
We have
no
no-
Lock in his car.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
going to
I
work
got
on
this
getting
one.
Bonsai back here very, very soon. But before we get to that, we are going to move on to our
Isn't it
next...
funny how their clothes disappeared too?
Yeah, isn't it?
That's sorry. It's just
Well, at least they're not
That is
somewhere
weird.
naked.
That is weird. Yeah, that's true.
Even
All
their
right.
clothes fade
Patient.
away.
Yes.
Not the beginning and not the end.
I
If you
can't
could pick
even-
one scene in Infinity War that was your absolute favorite, what would it be?
Oh, before we go, I'm like, we're gonna get back to McWhoopies in just a second.
Absolutely.
We're gonna cover Mike's the hungry patient right now. Alright, you can go.
Okay. So like, I'm a big fan of Rocket Raccoon anyway,
Okay.
but it's more on the comedic side because I felt the movie needed a breakup of all this heavy shit. Like this is like the darkest MCU movie that they put out right now.
And that's
Right.
the truth.
I mean, like,
That's
there's so much
100%
death.
accurate.
It's
Yeah.
bright and fluffy, but everybody's fucking dying.
Right.
But the moment when he and Bucky are going back and back, that whole fight scene, that exchange was funny as fuck. You
Okay.
attached that on? Oh, like that shit was fucking funny. He picks a little raccoon up and spins him. Any other time someone picks Rocket Raccoon up, he's ready to bite your arm off. He flips the fuck out. He was cool with it. In that moment, I had a whole host of emotions. Like, shows more of Rocket's development as a character. He knows what's more important. He's not going to flip out because of the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie. He's still got his Rocket in him. He's like, I want that arm. I'm going to get that arm. That's that funny shit.
Right.
Bucky actually had a little bit of exchange in there. Not so much development, but more like, really, nigga? He had that moment. You're like, all right, Bucky's not just some dick that's been hiding out Wakanda eating them black Wakanda booties. But, you know you're hitting it.
All right.
But I felt like that whole moment for me gave a little bit more levity to the movie that I felt was missing for me.
Definitely kicks names and takes ass.
Oh, takes all my ass. No, that was it. I mean, it just, for me, I needed that change. Because at that point, everybody's fucking dying. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking dying.
I mean,
and this is
Wakanda,
before,
like, with
yeah.
the war, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They were
that
getting
was
murdered
pretty
by
going
down.
like feral alien animals.
Yeah. Just
They had to open up
monsters.
the fence, otherwise they were going to breach on the back. Like that, it was like a dire moment. It's like, oh shit. That's what, I needed that.
right.
Yeah, I could feel that.
Okay.
No. I definitely like that scene
Yeah,
too. I thought
really,
that was
damn.
good. I thought that was a great oh wow, they're like teaming up. Like I like, and I was like, oh cool, that's like.
And they
cool
didn't
scene.
even know each other.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like Rocket, normally when he meets a stranger, he's
He's
like,
like,
I'm gonna fuck with you.
yeah,
You got a fake
immediately,
eye?
yeah.
I'm gonna take this. It
Yeah,
was in
I'ma
your butt.
still-
You're like, all kinds of random
Put it
shit.
in your butt.
But
I like
he
it, I
meets
like it.
Bucky.
Yeah, I
He's
like
like,
that.
I'm gonna take your arm, but this is more
But
important.
not
Yeah,
right
he's like,
now.
I'm gonna get it eventually. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it
Yeah.
twisted. Like that's mine
The Winter
eventually.
Soldier fade away?
Mhm.
Yep, he was the first
He was
one
the
to fade
first
away,
one.
actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All you hear is
He's
Steve,
like, Steve.
and he turned around and he just like dropped.
Yeah,
and I
Steve
was
was
like,
like-
wow,
I guess
okay.
Rocket definitely not good.
That was one where the gun dropped.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because
Yeah.
like, his gun had dropped, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, he said
Well,
Steve,
he's getting the gun
this
first.
left, and then he hit that arm
Because I
drop, and he
almost
looked up and
expected
just
like
dropped.
This
the
is my
gun to
thing.
go with him for some
Yeah,
reason. I
right.
don't know why.
Because
He's just
his arm-
shooting people
because
in
his
the
arm
arm
went
too?
with- His arm went too. I don't know why.
So
his arm
Rocket
went
gets
too.
the gun, but not the
This is
arm.
vibrating into the
Yeah, right. It's just
Right,
vibrating.
right.
I'm like, dude.
They just
It's
see Rocket
probably
like
because
run
of
over it and
Thanos'
shit.
mind.
Yeah.
He had it with
It's
him,
like
so he
his
just
arm.
eliminated what he was.
Or it's just like, it's almost like, it's like being a part of him, I guess. Like,
True.
It's just kind of
Or are we just thinking way too hard?
Yeah,
Yeah, or we're
that's
just
like
overthinking
almost
the shit out of
nitpicky
it.
Material, yeah.
But if that's it
Oh,
for
that's
you,
me.
then I'm going to work some magic.
Okay, what's he
And
want?
I'm going to get Bonsai back in this scene.
Oh.
But in doing so,
Do we have to?
the Red Skull told me I had to sacrifice something I love.
Fuck that, Nick. All right.
Smiz. Hungry patient.
I'm sorry, little one.
My booty stink anyway.
I'm
I got
so
the
sorry,
shot.
little one. Snap! Get out of here.
I don't even want. Nah, I can't even say that.
Snap! Get in here!
Oh my God, guys! It was crazy. There was a bunch of people, and then there was Gordon, and Gamora was there. And wait, what?
Gamora wasn't
More
there.
wasn't.
Hello again, everyone.
That was fucking
And
hell.
welcome back to FCTV's review on Infinity War. This is a long video, so whoever's still watching this, thank you guys for sticking around. Now, allow me to introduce another guest, one of the food chain members, and our very trustworthy camera guy, Bonsai Wolfburger.
The Bonsai Wolf Burger. What's up, everyone?
That's his introduction. Okay, so let's go right back to it.
Well, no, let's
Now-
go back to Keiko. You did promise.
That's exactly what I was going to
You
do.
promised
So
me.
we're going to give you a quick break for a minute, Bonsai. Even though you just got here, I'm sorry. I know you went through
Absorb the
craziness.
atmosphere.
You went through craziness getting eliminated from the universe, but we brought you back. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So now we're going to shoot over to McWhoopi. McWhoopi. Illustrious McWhoopi.
Where did I leave off?
Sound
Where
like
did I leave
Gamora,
off?
I feel like. But I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
if
yeah,
that
and
was
then
real.
Thanos like snatched up Gamora.
Oh,
I don't
the
remember.
reality gem scene.
Yeah, the reality jump
scene.
scene. And Thanos, I don't quite remember how he snatched up Gamora. I've only seen the movie once. I keep meaning to see it again.
Oh well, what was
Does he
it?
just swoop in and just snatch her? Or
No,
does he,
because
like,
he
does
creates
make
a
her come?
vision of her, of her
He walks
stabbing
out.
him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he's
He
like,
walks
I
out.
never always
That's right.
cared for me.
And
like,
then
it's
she
so
tries
hard
to
know.
stab him again. He
Yeah,
grabs
he
her, he
grabs
turns
her up,
around,
turns her
and then
around.
he turns her to face Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a good scene. When it was still like reality gem Thanos got stabbed, and
Yeah, that was
obviously
good.
I was like, huh?
yeah.
I can't even lie. I peeped that scene immediately.
I
So-
didn't peep it was reality gem. I peeped that like it just wasn't gonna work.
I was
It's
like,
just- it's not
there's
gonna
no
work.
way in hell they just killed Thanos, so it's
I
definitely
peeped
real.
it when that happened.
Oh, when he stabbed
So
him?
I like a couple people I talked to. They said as soon as they walked in and you see him stepping on the collector, like, oh, he already had it. I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. You're kind of just throwing shit on left field because I would have never expected that until he got stabbed.
No, actually, kind of how they draw the line with it, I think, if I remember correctly, was it's when they when they first run out, like, because he remembers Star was like, I told you to go left, which means that was real when she went right. So that means it was at least real until that point.
Okay.
And then he said, "Oh, she went," because he said, "You two go left," and they went completely other
Yeah,
direction.
everyone just ignored
Or
him.
yeah, and
but
then
see,
he was like,
Thinking
that's
about
my
Star
thing
Wars'
though. I
last
don't think
plan,
he
it was
ever.
probably a good plan.
What
Because thinking that thinking near with the fight on Titan,
Uh huh.
and that was like Star-Lord's plan that would have worked.
Right.
I think things went different if they went right instead of.
"Yeah, they didn't trust her."
Yeah, they didn't trust him and that's Star-Lord's theme. You know, he's supposed to be the captain, but no one trusts his
Yeah,
word.
no one trusts him as a captain, even
As
though
a
he's actually
captain.
like pretty good.
Because he has good plans. He's cunning.
I don't know. I feel like the only reason, excuse me,
It was
I
his
feel
plan.
like the only reason his plan failed
It's because
was
of
because
him.
he didn't know Gamora was dead.
No, he
What are you
didn't.
talking
No,
about?
like
No, not that plan.
Not the plan on.
We're talking about like the legit plan that he set up when they went to the collector. Like
Yeah.
it was like, you
Oh,
go, let
you're
me go,
saying
this, that, that.
beforehand.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Had they stuck to the plan, things would have went differently, maybe
Yeah.
a little better, but it all fell apart. And thing with Star-Lord, like he has good plans, but he lacks trust with his crew.
Yeah, it's-
Therefore, no one wants to listen to him.
It's almost like his disposition.
they're too
Like, he's
right.
such a
They're
jokey
too quirky.
disposition.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like hard to.
But anyway,
We'll
that's
put that in
that's
So is that like your?
no, not really.
Okay.
It's the scene itself, because when Daniel's like, how can you do this? I was like, okay, obviously there's something going on here.
Right.
And then his reality stone, he gets Gamora, and then Gamora's like, yeah, you know what I told you to do,
Yeah.
Peter. I'm like, Peter, just fucking do it, man. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Just shoot her, because I don't remember why. Oh, I thought he was gonna like torture her. This before the whole like they introduced
Oh,
the Soul Stone would do.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't want to get tortured or whatever.
Or
Or
you didn't.
or Thanos like
before
loves her
you
or
actually
whatever.
know he loves her, like with
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You think he's just gonna like
So I'm
be
like,
use
very
her.
vicious to her the whole time?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Star-Lord, your gun's not gonna do anything to him.
Right.
So shoot her so she doesn't get tortured. And obviously he loves her and whatever, which I didn't fully buy because off camera shit.
Right.
You also have to put in perspective like
2 years.
Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy 1 and 2 actually take place in the same year in the MCU timeline.
Okay.
So everything you see from Guardians 1 and 2 is like literally like a month later.
Jeez.
We have like 2 year blank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
that's like a whole 2 year.
I always kind of forget that.
Yeah.
And
2 year
then,
mix
and
up.
then Thanos turned it into bubbles, which is I guess is his favorite thing to do, turn things into bubbles.
What is more weak?
Honestly.
Yeah, good point.
Like
he turns it into bubbles and then drags. I don't know if this is all in chronological order. Like I
you
said, I
saw
don't know.
SpongeBob Boy Butterfly, scary dog.
And then Drax and Mantis run out, and he reality stones them. And in that moment, I thought that they got there. I thought that was it. I thought
Right,
they,
right,
I thought they
right,
died.
right.
I was like,
Oh,
well,
when he like
yeah, when he
when-
fell apart, I was
I
like,
was
oh
turned-
shit.
scared, dude.
He turned Drax
turned-
into some blocks and then
Yeah,
turned Mantis
yeah.
into like a sling.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like
like,
the little spring, it's
and
just
in my head, I was
fine.
like, that was so easy. He
Yeah,
killed both
I
of
was like,
them
no.
so
With
quick.
just the reality.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
just the reality gem.
Had
And then
they died,
went-
I would have been like, God.
And then
damn.
when he
Yeah, I
dipped
was
out
like,
and they
wow.
came back together, I was like, oh,
Well,
okay. It's
you can actually
temporary.
see it if you peep real quick when Mantis goes into her
Mantis
sleep.
blinks.
She's
She
still blinking
blinks.
like, what
Yeah,
the
But
hell?
I thought she
Wow.
just hadn't died yet.
Right.
Honestly, because Mantis
Because
bugs
Drax
her.
like falls apart.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
going,
Drax
no,
Drax
no,
is
nothing.
what made me think that he
Yeah,
was
I
dead
was
because he
like,
just
I
crumbled.
thought that was game for them, and then they came out together when he left, and like my whole movie, I was like, this game's gonna change when he gets the Reality Stone, and then he got the Reality Stone. I was like,
And a lot of craziness
I was like,
happened.
yo,
Yeah,
okay,
like,
now the
that
doors
was great,
the
yeah.
doors are open for insanity, and that's what ensued.
Yeah.
So that was like my favorite part.
I think my only issue with the Reality Stone is it wasn't used in a way I thought it could. I thought it would be used. He used it to manipulate reality in like an illusion aspect, opposed to
Yeah, like it wasn't
Like-
actually really
yeah. Because as you see, when he left, they just came back.
See,
I think that would be too powerful for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
because like, and they want to for some reason portray. It's kind of confusing because they portray like the Soul Stone as being like the strongest.
Yeah,
But
the
then
Mind
the
Stone
Mind Stone is
was
like the main one, but
Yeah.
like to me, Reality Stone was always the strongest.
And it
But,
always
like,
should be the
like
strongest.
to be able to rewrite reality
MCI
into
is.
whatever you
Oh, shit,
want.
yeah, MVCI.
But then,
really
but then it
definitely
draws a
is.
question like, is it actual
Killed that
permanent reality like Wanda?
Yeah, exactly.
When Wanda,
Yeah.
when I discussed it in our other video where she
Yeah.
wiped out half the mutant
Yeah,
gene in the
yeah.
multiverse.
Well,
Yeah.
she ain't wiping out nothing now.
Absolutely not. And that's probably why they got rid of her, because of the extent of her
See,
power can reach.
But they don't even touch
They
on it.
they really
Like,
don't touch on it. They touch on it slightly.
In Infinity War, this is the first time we've really seen the Reality Stone do what it's even supposed to do.
Honestly.
Because in Dark World, it was like a red tornado.
I
Yeah.
forgot.
That did
He was like,
nothing.
I forgot
my
the
dream
reality
reality
stone was
is
the
just
stone
tornadoes
It had like
in Asgard.
teleportation powers, but I'm like, that's space.
Like,
Yeah.
everything
Like-
was kind of just like colliding, but that's space.
Yeah,
you know, that's,
like-
that's
Yeah.
space.
Like that's
So-
not even
reality.
really reality.
So would you say that your biggest
I would say
like
that's the-
excitement or like,
Like,
the,
that
like
was,
what
like,
hit you the
yeah,
hardest was the
I was-
reality
I was
gem?
looking forward to see what the reality stone would do.
yes,
That's
reality
what's up.
is
And I
my
was not
favorite.
disappointed.
You know what's crazy?
I like it.
I have a surprise towards that scene and like a disappointment from what led up into that scene.
Okay.
So the disappointment is Gamora should have trusted Drax to kill her before Quill. Like she should have known that Quill would have never tried to kill
True.
him.
Like
But,
the fact that she would go to Star Lord is kind of
Yeah.
almost like
Drax doesn't fire.
heartless.
How
Drax
serious it
doesn't,
is.
Drax
Yeah.
doesn't fire guns though.
He
never
would have
get
stabbed
one.
her, but he
But once she's
Honestly,
in
he wouldn't
Thanos'
have had a
grasp,
chance.
it
Star Lord had a
wouldn't-
better chance because like
He
say
had a
Star
better
Lord had
chance,
like
but-
sniped her.
yeah.
True.
Thanos would've been like,
and
"Oh."
I guess like Gamora could have seen like Drax obviously is very fueled on his emotions like immediately out the gate.
Yeah,
So,
which is why he was like
We
Thanos.
know now that Quill also is too.
But to be
Well,
fair,
to
Quill
be fair,
wasn't out the gate.
Quill
Like,
went through like I can't say he went through more than Drax, but he went through more than Drax faster, or he
Yeah.
went through what Drax went through in a way shorter
Yeah.
time frame.
True.
Because Drax lost his family to Thanos. Okay, he's been on a
Years ago.
vengeance path
Yeah.
for years. Like he spent crazy amounts of time thinking about how he was going to kill Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Star Lord, as you said, within 2 years, or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, let's say 3 years, because everything takes place 2 years
Yeah.
after
Yeah, yeah. After
Civil
like,
War.
which was 2014. So Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 take place in 2014. That's one.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So you have him going through losing. Well, he already lost his mom. His mom's been dead for
Yeah,
for a
years.
long time.
Yeah.
That's
So-
still a raw nerf.
In the
Yeah.
second movie, he loses his father, who he just found.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
loses the
that's
person
obvious.
who raised him,
Yeah, exactly.
and then
Happens.
and not only that, he had to kill his own father.
yeah.
Because he found out his
I mean,
father killed his
He
mother.
kind of killed his own father like on purpose. Like, it
Well,
was
no, no, absolutely
He was
no.
like, oh,
He
I'm
had
gonna
to
kill
like
you.
like
Yeah.
you're gonna like destroy a lot if I don't kill
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
So he has to come to that realization that he has to kill his father
Yeah.
because his father's a villain who killed his mother.
Lost his father and his daddy.
Then he lost his who he looks at as a father,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Then you get to this movie where he's kind of recovering from that. It's been 2 years, cool.
Yeah, it's been some years now.
But then immediately he loses Gamora.
Yeah.
Drax lost his wife and his daughter in like the same amount of time, and then has been dwelling on it for
Yeah,
years. So he's had years to cope with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and he's not so much gotten over it, but he's done better in the sense of we see, you know,
Yeah.
him joking around. We see him being Drax. We see him fighting people, but he only triggers when he hits Thanos.
Only
Yeah.
takes a snap
Because
of the
Thanos.
trigger.
Because Thanos is the one who
literally
did it.
Thanos.
Snaps of
It's
the
You know,
key of
so
this movie.
it makes sense for Drax to react the way he, or not Drax. Well, Drax and Star Lord to both react the way they did because they have emotions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Drax seems like the type of person who doesn't, but you see in Guardians 2, when he's like talking with Mantis, he surely has emotions.
No, yeah.
She touches him and it begins just like sobbing and weeping, but he's not.
Well, you gotta remember also, like,
He's repressing it.
he has a wife and daughter.
Exactly.
Like, he has emotion.
Yeah. So I can definitely feel that one
And
for
then
sure.
my surprise from that scene, because I caught on that it was Reality Stone too, but when everything started fading away and the collector's there waving, I was about to just see him in the cage just like knocked out or dead. When he was completely gone,
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
shit. I thought he was just gonna be dead.
That's such a big issue I have
That
with
means,
the
that means,
MCU.
that means a lot of stuff that the collector had is gone.
Yeah, like
It's somewhere.
Well,
he, had
you
a
gotta
lot of
remember,
he had a lot of big
you
shit
also
in there.
gotta remember when they show up, like in that perceived reality world, which I guess makes sense to whoever's telling you that it was maybe a illusion from the jump. Is that when they get there, it's all like abandoned and shit, and then when the gem, the illusion closes, everything's on fire.
Yeah,
like,
he like
everything is on
destroyed
fire.
it.
That's right.
So like it's like where does it begin and where does it end? You know, like so.
Was it abandoned when Thanos got there?
Yeah, like was this all
And
like?
And
He
then,
just-
the,
he
and
just
then
left
the
it there.
destruction was him like just destroying everything,
Yeah.
looking for it.
If anything, I could
He
imagine
found it, so
him
it
making the illusion
there.
when they make the noise for the first time, and he's like,
Hmm.
and then like turns back, and maybe at that point.
The only reason I can't see that is because he already had his foot on the collector
True.
when they got there.
That's
My,
such a hard
my
point.
thing is, you're coming in on a ship.
Yeah.
If you
you're-
think Thanos doesn't see you
Yeah,
coming
true.
on
Very
a
true.
ship,
yeah.
in like a mini world that's
Yeah.
within a skull, so
Yeah.
there's only like very few
For
entrances.
real, and it's probably just like loud.
Yeah.
Like.
If you think he's not going to see that,
Yeah,
then there's
that's
some
fair.
serious
Yeah,
issues.
There's no stealth with your big giant ship.
But I will say that draws a big issue I have with the MCU because I feel like they don't take the cosmic entities seriously.
It's,
They really
they're
don't.
not focused on.
The
it
only
at all.
one they seem to take seriously is Dormammu, and even so, he got played by a very rookie Doctor Strange.
Like Dormammu's not even really like cosmic to me. He's like other
Well,
dimensional.
he's
like Mephisto.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
see,
And
him
his-
and
and
Mephisto
his
are considered
ranking.
cosmics
See, like to
to
me,
an extent.
cosmic is like a celestial.
This is like galactic.
Well, the cosmics are
Galactic,
the
yeah.
Collector, the Grandmaster. They're also considered cosmics, and that's why I have big beef because at the end of Thor Ragnarok, the Grandmaster walks in. He's like, "Whoa, guys, take it easy, don't
like-
hurt me."
But to me, that's not even like because to me, like it depends because there's so many different
I
uses
think,
for
it's just, I
cosmic.
think it's just MCU, man.
Well, you got to understand, the Silver Surfer's cosmic.
Yeah, but he
but-
uses the power cosmic.
Yeah, but he's
Well,
still cosmic. I mean, he was a person who became
It
cosmic.
makes me wonder what cosmic means.
They're-
Is it just
I mean,
if you use the
their
power cosmic?
continuity
Because they say the same thing about
is
Captain
just.
Marvel that she also uses the power cosmic.
See, I've never heard her using
Yeah.
the power cosmic. I've heard of Quasar using the power
Yeah,
cosmic.
like,
I've heard
it's
of
like-
Nova being
Yeah,
capable of using the power
Captain
cosmic.
Marvel has
But
the
to me,
cosmic
like,
power.
I consider the cosmic entities like the Celestials, Ego.
Yeah, the cosmic
The
entities
collect-
for me are like everyone Thanos fought in the actual Infinity Gauntlet storyline.
Well-
That to me is like the cosmic entities, because like there may be cosmic beings
Right.
who use that power.
Well,
but people like made up of
My
that or like
my issue is Galactus is a cosmic entity, but he's not one of the seven,
No,
and that's my beef.
but
like,
then at the same
but
time,
then
like,
that strands
sometimes,
that
like,
that strands down to it's not just the
Yeah.
seven fabrics of the
the
universe.
the
you know,
cosmic
it's like universe,
people,
death,
like the makeup.
whatever
of the
their
universe.
names are. I
Yeah.
gotta go through and like
There's a lot.
research them all again because there's like a core seven
Yeah,
that he fights, and you have
Eternity.
like. Yeah,
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Eternity's one of them. He's like the main one, actually. But when they go down the hierarchy, once you hit, it's Eternity, it's the other six, it's Galactus, it's the Celestials who are like always either right below him or like on his
I
level.
feel like they're actually like lately they've been putting the Celestials like above.
I can see that, but my issue is they're never portrayed to be able to handle Galactus like 1v1.
Well, the thing with Celestials is that like you're also forgetting about like Beyonders and stuff too. But, like,
and to
but,
me,
like,
the Beyonders
Celestials, like-
are also cosmics.
the Celestials are like kind of like its own race. Like they're just like beings, kind of like a
Yeah,
further evolved
Absolutely.
beings.
They're the way they were explained is like they come from humans or something
Yeah.
like that.
I don't think
And
they're
that's
gonna
weird
touch
for
on
me.
any of those people.
And see,
Well, there's
I don't
actually
think so,
rumors
but-
of a Celestial movie being made.
My thing is the whole point of me saying this is like I feel like they've been dumbing it down so much.
Yeah.
Dumbing it down
When
for
it
the-
comes to the
for
cosmic
for the
threats,
for the
Yeah, for the cosmic
viewers,
threats, because
because you
these-
start to get
so
a
The Collector and the Grandmaster are easily cosmic threats. That's definitely confirmed in Marvel Comics. And their power is vast. Their power is super vast. Like, his little disintegration stick, that's not a disintegration stick. That's him using his power and transferring it through the wand because he's just funny like that.
I think
he could honestly just be like, I don't like you.
See, because I find that so funny because, like, in Unworthy Thor, the Collector is not portrayed as strong.
And that's my issue.
Yeah.
They're so inconsistent with this. It bugs me.
I think the MCU, what they do with their powerful beings like that is they keep them in a shroud of mystery.
Yeah.
Like, even someone who doesn't read comics or know comics at all, from the way, like, with the Collector, you see him, he's not just a collector of things. These are all powerful items that he gets his hands on.
A collector of anything.
Of anything,
really.
yeah. And he had a Reality Stone. He had Howard Duck for some reason.
I was going to say,
originally he had Adam Warlock's egg, but they kind of like retconned
and he had
that.
a
I
bunch
don't
of stuff.
understand what that was about.
It was just like a little Easter egg.
And they didn't explain
and then it went from an egg to a coffin, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
because they knew, like, the audience, not particularly people like us who know a thing or two about it. They'll know that they make it known that these are all powerful items. This guy gets his hands on them, therefore he's got to be something special.
Yeah.
He's something, and everyone treats him like they know who he is, but he doesn't know who they are.
Right.
So that automatically, like, triggers just like, oh, he's someone to know. He's someone special. He's above us.
Yeah.
Right.
So and that's why I don't think they'll touch on that any deeper than that in the MCU, just because it would jack the power scaling way up.
And you telling me that you want to abandon the Reality Stone to escape with Howard the Duck?
Howard the Duck escaped on his own.
Yeah, Howard
See,
Duck.
Nah, they escaped together. He
that's
was like,
my
Thanos,
issue.
don't come after
They
me.
escaped
We
together.
out.
No, my issue is I don't know if they escaped.
Yeah,
Because my thing is, like,
Howard the Duck escaped. He was
knowing
he
what
was
I
in
know
the
about, like, those
scene.
powerful beings, I can't see the Collector being scared of Thanos unless he has the Infinity Gauntlet. When he doesn't have them all, there's no reason for me to think he's scared of anything.
I don't know, but he also didn't have them all when he rolled up on.
And that's what I'm saying.
The way
And
it was
he
abandoned-
either got killed by Thanos or he ran from Thanos.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's my issue.
Oh,
You know what?
Yeah.
He could have, the way it was abandoned ahead of time, he could have taken all of his shit, left the Reality Stone so Thanos didn't come for him, and just bounced. He said, I'm
But
out.
hear me out. I still don't know if it was abandoned. We see that it's abandoned
That's-
because Thanos made it that reality.
Yeah, we don't know.
He
what
changed the
that is.
reality of the area to
Like,
make it be abandoned.
That is all under the argument of when does this
Yeah.
become?
True.
When does
Yeah.
the illusion begin?
True.
Where
And
does
when
it end?
well, we know where it ends, but
Yeah.
where it
When does
begins
it
is a
begin?
very
But-
very good topic.
Back to Keith.
Yeah,
You're
we're
gonna-
gonna stray away from that. Bonsai,
Your fade.
it's time for you to step up to the plate.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Not the beginning, and not the end. If you have something in conjunction with what these two and Hungry Patient have said, by all means, add on to it. But if yours is something different, we want to hear it. I want to know what scene you banged with the most.
All right. I have a scene which is, I guess this is the midpoint, but I also have something that that happened throughout the movie, like maybe beginning, middle, ending. So I guess I'll start with one of my favorite scenes, and it's one of my favorite scenes just because it jaw dropped me and at the same time made me go, God fucking damn it. And that
Okay.
scene is the Soul Stone scene.
Okay.
When they got to after Red Skull's shown, everything's going down. You find out how you get the Soul Stone. The second Thanos started showing emotion, I know immediately I was like, God damn it, he loves Gamora.
I'm mad
And
Gamora didn't pick up on his
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
said tears, really?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Red Skull was like, chill.
Yeah.
Red tail, bro, chill. Like,
But even before he started crying, when he was
Red Skull was
just
like, they're not for him.
Yeah.
They're not for him at all. She's like,
just dipped out of it like,
no.
and that's the part, like, even before he started crying, when he just sat there for like more than a second, I was like, oh no. And that's the scene where right even before he started crying, I was like, damn it, I'm going to like Thanos because he's not just a fucking villain.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it, do not make me like him. Make me just keep on like he's an evil ass villain.
Yeah.
That's the part where in my head I was like,
Well, there's no other way to get it. You had to love something.
exactly. And I was like, damn it, why
You
do
couldn't have this toss.
they made him like so relatable in that aspect to me. I was like, damn it. why is he like?
So good,
it was super good, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, he's not just that evil tyrant ass motherfucker. He is the mad tyrant.
Yeah, like.
But
The part that hit me the most about what you're saying was after he threw her, his lip quivered.
yeah.
When
Yeah,
his
he was
lip, he was like,
You know what the fact?
I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
he's really like.
He's
freaking
broke
out
up about this.
Yeah.
And I want, like, I was thinking afterwards with that scene, if he knew that's what the Soul Stone needed, so he chose someone to love, like a
That would
child,
be sad.
and he knew.
So it was almost like not a
he
setup.
knew he would have to
but yeah.
get rid of her, but
Yeah.
he had
had
to
to
love her.
create a
Like
relationship.
yeah,
Like,
there's no other choice. He
that
had to
would
love
be
her enough.
But that's the crazy part.
which
He
is
just,
why,
the only
like, he
reason.
knew he had to do it, but it hurt anyway.
yeah.
Right. The only reason I don't know if I can fully back that one is because when he grabbed her, she was like, "No, what are you doing?" He says, I let my dream escape me once before."
Yeah.
And I cannot
So
let it happen.
it makes
again.
me think like maybe he learned about it afterwards, like
That's
after
a
she
fact.
was
Yeah,
already
that
like
could
grown
be.
up and he built his relationship with her. Then he learned about it. And he was like, "Well, I love my daughter. I'm not gonna give my daughter up."
Yeah, that's why it took so much longer. Than
Yeah, and then he was like, "You know what? Fuck that. I let my dream escape me once before. I'm not gonna do it
The
again."
only thing, sorry, Q,
Yeah.
with that theory is he didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
So the
Gamora
only
knew.
thing that would theoretically he would know is like someone told him, like hearsay, like, "Oh, I hear you gotta sacrifice something you love." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, and I don't
Like-
think he knew anything at all.
But he did not know where it was because he was like, "This better be where it
Yeah.
is."
And see, that's
for the
another
sake of
thing.
your sister.
That's another thing. I kind of don't know if he knew that was the cost because again, when he took her there,
I agree. Yeah.
when he took her there, it was because it was like, I don't trust what you're telling me because you've already lied
yeah,
to me
he's like,
earlier.
"You better be
Yeah.
like."
He's like,
legit,
I've taught you so
cuz-"
much, but what I didn't teach you was to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, "I knew."
And then
you
he's
lied."
like, "You're gonna come with me to make sure it's
Yeah.
here." And then he was like, "Okay, cool, we found it." And then he's like, "How do I get it?"
Yeah.
And then Red Skull was like, "You gotta sacrifice something you love." And he
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Oh,
100
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
I
point.
100%.
Yeah.
I 100% didn't think he knew before. It was more like Gamora's the thing he loves the most, but she just happened to be the
just
map
only- yeah, like
to
a
get
bad
to what he
place.
needs.
"Yeah,
Like-
it was more of like a coincidence."
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
And then the second he found out, he hesitated. Like it's not. It's
Yeah, like, he sat
if
there
he
for a
knew
minute.
already or speculated, he'd be like, I was
He was
afraid
like,
of
"I've already
this.
prepared myself
Yeah,
for that."
yeah,
Like-
he was saying something like that, but
But
it
no,
was
he
like
was
he
like-
literally had to have a second to
It
himself.
wouldn't
Like
even have worked if he prepared himself.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then it would have been like, "Oh, you don't really."
Because
It would extinguish
if he
the
knew
world.
already, he
Yeah.
could have just be like, I prepared for this. He wouldn't
Yeah,
even
touch that.
struggled. He would just be like, boom, I loved you.
It wouldn't even have worked.
But that's the what got me because
Yeah.
he could have easily just chucked her into bed. No, he had his little moments to himself, like, let me get these last moments with the thing I love the most. Let it go.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it dragged her like a child. Like,
Yeah.
she was like a little
Ew,
girl.
big old man.
Yeah,
I know, it's just like funny, father.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then
dragged you like a-
even made
like,
eye,
oh, man.
and y'all peeped. He made eye contact with her the whole way down
Yeah.
when she fell down. I was like, God damn
Yeah,
it,
that was
Thanos! Like,
awesome.
Man, she should have.
He was stuck. Like,
Yeah.
how Thanos looked after he threw Gamora was me after the movie.
Yeah, and like you
It's
know,
foreshadowing.
like he doesn't fully get over that.
Yeah.
because like when he arrives back in Titan, he's like, "Maul's dead," and he's like, and Dr. Strange is like, "Ah."
Yeah.
He's like,
He said,
"Man,
"I've taken
like,
the Maul's
it's a-
dead,"
it's
and
a
I
heavy
did.
toll today. Like, he had to
Yeah.
lose- which in my head, like,
he's losing everything.
it doesn't mean that he like loves the Order.
Yeah.
But, like they are like his
But-
confidants.
yeah,
Like,
and
they're
then,
his
like,
people.
they
Where he's
meant
like,
something
"Dad,
to him.
man,
He's-
I'm
he's
losing
been through a lot
to
with
go
them.
for
And
my
they're
dream."
loyal as hell. Those,
Yeah.
well, they were loyal.
Oh my
as
God,
hell.
they treated him
To-
like
to-
God.
yeah.
Like they,
Yeah,
their
I mean,
religion was based
Ebony
around
Maw was
him.
literally like, "Yo,
He was like-
children of
He
Thanos,
was like,
nah, yeah."
"Children of Thanos, come sacrifice
Yeah,
yourself
I
for
was like,
Thanos.
wow.
You're gonna die at the
Wow.
hands of the children of Thanos." And I'm like,
He's like, you're
All right.
a crazy person.
So-
It's like, it was powerful as hell with this.
And
fucking
the crazy part is, of course, the Spider-Man scene had me shook. I was like, oh shit.
I was just like, wow.
But
I was just in a perpetual
not even
state of
being a
shock
fan
at
of
that
Gamora,
point.
He ain't feel
that
so
scene
good.
kind of hit me more.
You're a Gamora main on
'Cause
MVC.
I'm a Gamora main on that game, but as a character, I'm like, compared to I like Spider-Man way more,
Yeah,
of course.
Who
Like he's
doesn't?
like my number 2. But freaking that scene made me feel something more
Yeah, because
than
it was
the
like,
actual Tony
it
Stark
wasn't
Spider-Man scene.
mercy. That because remember Thanos saw him snapping his fingers, taking everyone out as mercy.
Well, he said it was random. He said equal to rich and poor alike.
Random, painless mercy. He had to kill Gamora.
Yeah.
I think he was more prepared to see.
Like if she would have faded away,
he would have been more prepared for that.
Yeah, but he was like, I gotta kill her. Like I have to do that. Like, and that's a bigger toll, I think.
So that's why that scene, like personally, I was like, that's one of my favorites, just because it hit me the hardest.
Right.
Yeah.
And then one thing that happened throughout, like it was in the beginning, middle, and end, that just blew me away the whole movie. Iron Man's suit in that movie was visually was the toughest thing for me in that whole movie.
He was really going in on that fight against Thanos.
He was going hard.
Like when he would like close Thanos' hand around and make like the weight. I was like, you're a savage.
Even to like the simplest part when he made the boosters on his legs and took off in his space.
I'm just saying that suit wouldn't have lost Cap. Fuck you, I don't even want to say that.
It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. It would have fucking slow.
Did we get to your favorite yet?
No.
Okay. Lou.
Then what's your favorite?
The Snap Grant.
Okay.
What's your favorite?
So, you up next.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up right now.
All right, wrap it up.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Everybody's going.